Alright, it's a rainy day and I'm doing a rainy day project. I thought I'd film how I do this because I've tried so many different ways to remove PEX fittings from PEX. Whether you make a mistake when you're plumbing and you need to remove it, or you just have, I've just accumulated all these parts over time, over the last few years, in a bucket, hoping that one day I would have time to just recover all my little brass pieces here. So today's the day, and I wanted to show you how I do it because this is the best way that I feel I've learned how to do this. I would love to hear other ways how other people do it, but for me this is the easiest. Whether you are underneath the sink, in your utility room, or in a basement, this technique is pretty simple, and the tools required are bolt cutters. I've got a vise in this example. So also what helps a lot is heat. Now, some PEX you can heat it up and it'll retain its shape when it cools back down. Other PEX you can't. So I would not recommend using heat on all PEX situations. In particular, these pieces I am not reusing. I'm just going to throw them away. So if you have chunks and you need to recover your brass, I have used PEX in situations to heat it up where it will be reused again. But like I said, look into those specific scenarios if heat is an acceptable way to do it. And let me tell you how I've evolved. I've evolved from making mistaken PEX and saying, oh, I gotta cut that out of there. These little clamps are in a position you can't really undo them very easily. So I used to, and I still do this once in a while, is I take a grinder, I just buzz that piece right off right there. I buzz the grinder right along this. And when you're using a grinder, always wear eye protection. But anyway, when you do that, this thing releases, and then you can just take pliers or a screwdriver and just pry that thing right off of there. That's really helpful. A lot of times, grinders in a good spot, and plus grinders shooting metal all over, and I've had these things go flying off, so make sure you do wear face and eye protection if you're using the grinder. Even when you get that off, sometimes it's hard to get the PEX off of the fitting itself, so that's where the heat comes into play. So first step is bolt cutter. Easy peasy. Two for two. There's some sharp pieces there. Just be really careful handling it. So if you have pliers, you can just rip this thing right off of there if you're not able to slide it off the end. And the same thing here. Just gonna loosen it up. Get it out of the way. Wear gloves if you don't like cutting yourself. Here's what happens. You got the pipe stuck right to the fitting. It's stuck around a little barbs on the fitting. It's been compressed right over it from the clamp, which did its job. So one way is to knife it. And like I said, I don't really like doing this because I'm going to reuse that brass. Sometimes you can nick it with your knife. So that's one way. And see, look, put a little nick on it. But it worked. So the other option is heat. Just a little bit of heat will do it. Keep all flammables away. If you have pliers, use pliers to grab that brass piece. I'm not going to go far enough to where the brass is going to be all that hot. Look at that. Just like that. Let's do another one. Zoom in on this thing. These are bolt cutters from Amazon. That is. So same thing, just can't get it off. Doesn't take much heat. Got two here. I remove these clips or move them back at least, just because I'm yanking on that. I don't really want to get my hand caught on the burr. This is a nap gasket. When it's hot, it's good for sweat and pipe. Spread the heat around. All these recovered fittings. Look at that. So if you've got a better way to do this, let me know. I don't know if there's a neat tool that allows you to remove these things. Maybe there is. Probably costs a fortune. Bolt cutters are handy to have. Got to cut bolts.